I'm Jay Coker, Chairman of the Board of Producers Rice Mill. We've been bringing you information periodically throughout the season. We thought we'd catch you up where we are now as far as harvest being completed. As you know, we had a challenging year. Acreage was down about 20% throughout the Mid-South due to a lot of heavy rains and historic flooding. Despite the challenges that Mother Nature threw at us this year, we feel really good about the quantity of the U.S. crop and the quality of the U.S. crop. We're fortunate that we feel like we're going to have supplies that will more than adequately meet all the demands of the U.S. customer. Many of you wonder what happens post-harvest, what we do from that point on. Many of the rice fields that have been harvested, we turn our attention to what we're going to do with the straw and stubble that's left over from this year's crop. We got to manage that straw and stubble so it does not impede next year's rice crop or soybean crop, corn, whatever we're going to rotate to. So some fields like what you see behind us, this field has been flooded. That's dual purpose. It helps the straw degrade. It helps provide wildlife habitat. There's a lot of environmental incentives that give us the encouragement to do that. Other people burn their fields. Some people do nothing. They leave it standing just as the combines went through it. It all depends on soil type. It depends on farmer's preference and what he feels like is best for him as far as being able to break that straw down and get rid of it so it does not impede next year's crop progress. Even though it may look like there's not a lot that could be going on right now, crops have been harvested, there's not a lot of tractors, there's not a lot of equipment running in the fields. We get into late fall, we tend to get wetter soils, and we transition more to equipment maintenance. There's still a lot that goes on with the technology, all the yield data that maybe our equipment has gathered this year, sprayer information, all of those things have to be comprised and put together to where we can review what we did. We're going over budgets, we're looking at cropping rotations and where we think we need to be for next year as far as acreage. We're already determined our seed needs and what varieties we're going to plant next year based on some of this data review that we may each do as farmers and determine which varieties worked best for us. So there's a lot that goes on during the winter. May not involve tractor driving, but there's an incredible amount of activity that goes on during the late fall and early winter to prepare for next year's crop. Naturally, when we think about rice, we think about water and we think about flooded fields. So these fields that were in rice production during the growing season have now transitioned to where they're serving another purpose. Not only do they provide habitat for migratory waterfowl, they also provide other conservation benefits to all types of wildlife, different types of birds, anything of that nature use these fields for their habitat. There's a lot of conservation incentives to give us encouragement to flood the fields, to capture rainwater. There's some agronomic positives. It helps break down the straw and the stubble, and it also inhibits any early emerging spring, late winter and spring weeds and grasses that we might not want to have to contend with in the early part of the growing season.